Welcome to the Maryland Pride Gymnastics Meet. This is Nikki Dragon, and I'm reporting from the Xfinity Center with the Maryland Gymnastics Meet against number 11 ranked Arkansas. Just about a minute remaining here in the timed warm-ups, and Arkansas will be starting on the bars, and Maryland will be starting on the vault rotation. And we're about to get started here. Our first look will be at Sarah Fowler from Maryland up on the vault. Now in college gymnastics, you'll see a lot of the same vault being done. That's a Yurchenko with a full twist in a layout position. And that now starts at a 9.95 instead of a 10.0. So let's see how Sarah Fowler does with that. And that's a pretty good start for Maryland. She had a little bit of a split in the legs, but other than that, that's a good start off for them. Now our first look at Arkansas, Kiera Glover on the bars. Something that the judges are really looking for are those good handstands, hitting right above the bar, and a big release move coming up here. Nice shoot over to handstand as she transitions up to the high bar. And a giant full double tuck, stuck landing. That's a great leadoff routine for Arkansas to get them going. Next up on vault is Emily Brockmiller for Maryland. Emily will be performing the Yurchenko layout full. That was a beautiful vault for Maryland. You could see that she was very controlled on the landing, had some nice height off the table. I would say her only deduction would be a little bit of a pike down. Now this is Stephanie Cannizzaro for Arkansas. Beautiful handstand there right on top of the bar. Huge release move into a shoot over. That's a pretty difficult connection. She performed that fairly well. Beautiful handstand. You could see that she stops on top of the bar. Another huge release skill. You can see how controlled she is and everything. And a huge double layout dismount with a stuck landing. That was a phenomenal routine for Arkansas. Here is Macy Roberts, a freshman from Maryland. Another great vault. You can see that she was very powerful, got a lot of height and distance off the table, which is something that the judges look for.
Next up for Arkansas on the bars, Erin Fryer.
This is Erin Fryer for Arkansas. You can see how they're really building on each routine. And here she goes. Beautiful cast handstand. Nice release move. Arkansas is very precise in their handstands. Shoot over to the low bar. And she winds up for her dismount. A huge double layout with a stuck landing. You can see that Arkansas is extremely precise in their dismounts and their landings. Their feet are not moving from the mat. And here's a look at Dominica Trotter, the sophomore from Maryland. That was a great vault for Dominica. She was a little off to the side, but other than that, pretty controlled on the landing and some good height and form in the air. Here's our first look at Amanda Wellick from Arkansas. She's definitely someone to keep an eye on throughout this meet. She is an all-around competitor, and she definitely brings in some big scores for Arkansas. Amanda has a very difficult routine. I was watching her in warm-up. She finishes with an E dismount where she does a double front towards the bar. Nice shapash there. Into a shoot over to handstand. That's a beautiful connection. Hitting that handstand. And another Tkachev. That's 3 release moves. You can see that Arkansas is really pushing the difficulty in these routines. And there's that double front dismount, which is very difficult because it's a blind landing. She took a step back, but other than that, that was a great routine. Up on vault now, Kathy Tang. Definitely a gymnast to watch from Maryland. That was a phenomenal vault for Kathy, the senior. Stuck landing, she did not move her feet. That should be a pretty big score for Maryland. You can see that she's very excited about that one. And back to Arkansas on bars. Another great handstand there. Very high Jaeger release move. Again, showing off those handstands. You can really see how Arkansas is building each routine on the previous one. They're definitely a very consistent team. Oh, looks like she just missed her hand there a little bit. Looks like she just got a little bit ahead of herself on that skill. So she'll have 30 seconds to mount the bar again. Let's see how she finishes her routine. And a blindfold into her double tuck dismount. Now that puts a little bit of pressure on their final performer. And the final performer on vault, Evelyn Nee. Pretty good vault for Evelyn. She had a little bit of a pike down, so she'll get a deduction for that, but that was overall a very strong vault performance for Maryland.
Next up from Arkansas on the bars, Paige Zaziski.
And the final performer for Arkansas will be Paige Zaziski. Now there's a little bit of pressure on her because her teammate prior to her had to count a fall, so they want to make sure that she hits this routine. Now Paige is in this anchor spot for a reason. She's very consistent and has a very big routine. Let's see if she can make it count. Beautiful handstand right on top of the bar. A blindfold into a Tkachev. A little bit over on that handstand, but she pulled it back. And she's winding up for her double layout dismount. Beautiful landing there. A small hop forward, but that is the reason why she is in that anchor position. Arkansas should have 5 solid scores to count, dropping the 1 fall.
And that concludes the first rotation. Maryland will now go into the uneven bars and Arkansas to the vault.
Now Arkansas will be rotating to the vault and Maryland will be rotating to the bars. Now something to look for on the bars is those handstands that we've been talking about and the stuck landings. And on vault, definitely looking for powerful and explosiveness off the table, getting good height and distance and controlled landings. Arkansas has a great vault lineup, very powerful, very controlled. And Maryland has a very, very good bar lineup. It's all about consistency for them. Coach Brett Nelgen has really been stressing consistency in the gym this week, and hopefully they can put it all together tonight.
Ladies, your toss is now over. Let the competition begin.
Moving into this second rotation, Arkansas has a score of 48.9 on the bars, and Maryland has a score of 48.7 on the vault, so this is a very close meet right now. Up first on vault, this is our first look at Samantha Nelson. Samantha is a key competitor for Arkansas, performing on 3 out of the 4 events. And in this leadoff position, great vault, good height, good distance, a little off-centered and a small step to the side.
Up first for Maryland on the bar, Sarah Aller.
Moving over to the bars, this is Sarah Fowler. Sarah is a great leadoff competitor. She's very consistent. She's been in this leadoff spot for 3 years as a Terp. And a great double tuck stuck landing, and that's why she is in this first position. She really gets Maryland going in their bar lineup. And here's Paige Ziziski for Arkansas. That was a great vault, very powerful. A little uncontrolled on the landing, but she covered it up pretty well. That should be a good score. Here's our first look at freshman Shinelle Agaron from Florida. This is Shinelle's first time in the bar lineup. She's really worked hard to work her way into this lineup in practice. Let's see if she can put up a good routine for the Terps. A blind change half into a Jaeger. Unfortunately, she peeled off on that. Couldn't quite hold on. Looks like she'll get some chalk and finish her routine up. Now that puts a little bit of pressure on the rest of the lineup, considering that she's only second. So hopefully the next 4 girls can hit and Maryland will be able to drop this score. Nice pack salto there, and she transitions up to the high bar. Looks like she wasn't quite on top of the bar on that handstand, but a very nice double tuck to finish the routine. You could see that she was above the bar. Next up on vault, Bryce Speed for Arkansas. Very nice layout full. She had a pretty big hop back, but you could tell that it was a very powerful vault. She was very explosive off of the table. Now back to the bars, Megan McClellan, the freshman from Maryland, from South Carolina. Megan's really secured her spot in this lineup. She's been very consistent on bars, and she has a beautiful double layout dismount. You can see Coach Nelligan there talking her through her routine before she gets started. Megan starts off with a Tkachev release move. Pretty good height on that. Beautiful handstand there. Again, nice handstand. Shoot over down to the low bar. And she's gearing up for her double layout dismount. Pretty good routine there for Megan. She had a small hop forward on her dismount, but she covered it up pretty well. That's a good recovery after that fall. That will definitely get Maryland back on track. Here on vault, Sydney McClone. That was a beautiful vault in the air. You could see that her legs were glued together. She had great form and technique on that. She had a little bit of too much power. She had a pretty big hop backwards and up. But other than that, that will be a good score for Arkansas. Next up on bars is the sophomore, Abby Epperson from Texas. Abby starts her routine off with a blind change half into a Jaeger release move. Pretty solid on that. Good handstand. Beautiful shoot over. Winding up for a double layout dismount. Beautiful dismount for Abby. Stuck landing. That is a great routine for Maryland. They are definitely recovering well after that fall. You can see that they're very mentally tough. You could see that Amanda Wellick on vault just did a great vault. You could see her team was extremely excited about that. She had a huge layout full with a stuck landing. Now this is Evelyn. This exhibition spot just to keep her fresh and keep her in the pressure situations. Great handstand there into a huge pack salto. Amanda does a blind full into a Tkachev, which is a very difficult connection. That was a great connection there. Now getting ready for her dismount. She does an E dismount, a full in, above the bar with a stuck landing. That was a great routine for Amanda. We're now moving into the second half of the competition, where Arkansas will be on the floor exercise and Maryland will be on the balance beam. After the first two rotations, Arkansas leads Maryland with a 98.05 and Maryland with a 97.275. You can see that Arkansas is leading by about 8/10, but this is still anyone's game, especially with Arkansas finishing on the balance beam. That could be a difficult event to finish on. You can see Maryland getting ready to start their beam rotation. Up first will be Sarah Fowler. Again in that leadoff position, which we saw her in on bars and on vault. She's a very consistent performer, and that's why she's always in that leadoff spot. Maryland's had some changes to their beam lineup. They've been playing with some different girls, taking them in and out, trying to get that consistency. So we'll see Leah Slobodan as the anchor. And here we go with Sarah Fowler. You can see that Sarah is very confident up there in her dance moves as well as her skills. Here's her series. Handspring layout, beautiful landing. Getting ready for her leap series. Little bobble there, which is a little uncharacteristic for her. Getting ready for her dismount, which will be a round off double full twist. Pretty good landing there. She might get the stick from the judges. She might get a deduction for a small hop. This is Sydney Dillard for Arkansas. Going for her first pass. A front handspring, front 1.5 twist. She was very controlled on her landing. That's definitely something the judges look for. You can see that she's having a lot of fun with this routine, smiling and really playing to the crowd. Can see her teammates dancing along with her on the sidelines. Getting ready for her second pass. A front handspring, front full punch layout into a stag jump. It's really nice to see some strong connections on the floor. Looks like she's having a great time with this routine. Getting ready for her last pass. A 1.5 punch layout. That was a great leadoff routine for Sydney Dillard. Next up on beam is Dominica Trotter, the sophomore from New Jersey. A front aerial. Unfortunately, she fell off the beam there. That's something that Maryland has been having some issues with this year. Hopefully the 4 following routines can hit so they won't have to count a fall in their team score. Here's her series. A backhand spring back layout step out. Doing that full turn requirement. Good switch leap there into a split half, little bobble. Something the judges look for is a 180-degree split. And getting ready for her dismount. A step forwards. And that was a pretty good finish for Dominica. Hopefully Maryland will be able to drop that score. Next up on floor, this is Stephanie Cannizzaro. Stephanie is definitely a performer. You'll be able to see that through her dance. You can see her there giving the judges some looks with her eyes. And into her first pass, a double pike. Beautiful landing there. Getting ready for her second pass. A double tuck. Again, a beautiful landing. That's something that Arkansas really excels at, is controlling those landings and not moving their feet. Definitely looks like she's enjoying herself here. Taking some breaths before her last pass. This will be her 2 salto pass. A 1.5 punch layout. Great landing. That was a beautiful routine from Stephanie. That will definitely be a high score for Arkansas. Next up on beam is Shinel Agaron. This is also her first time in the beam lineup. She has done exhibition a couple times, but now she's finally in the lineup. Beautiful jump connection there. You could see that 180-degree split. Getting ready for her series. A handspring layout. Pretty big wobble there, but luckily she stays on the beam.
Stephanie Cannizzaro. Stephanie Cannizzaro.
Beautiful side semi. It's a pretty unique skill. You don't see a lot of gymnasts in the collegiate competition world doing that. Now getting ready for her dismount. Shinel does a round off 1.5 layout twist. Small hop forward, but that was a great routine for Maryland to get them back on track.
Performing next for Arkansas on the floor, Mackenzie Anderson.
Now we'll see Mackenzie Anderson on the floor exercise. And her first pass, a round off back handspring double pike. Moving right into her second pass. A front full punch layout. You can see that Arkansas has a lot of fun with these routines. You see that she's smiling, really performing her dance well. Beautiful leap series there. You could see that her legs actually went past the 180 degrees. Really showing off her flexibility. Getting ready for her final pass. A round out back handspring double tuck. Her foot just stayed in bounds there. Another solid routine for Arkansas. Now back to beam. This is Abby Epperson. A little bit of pressure on her now because they had that one routine with the fall, so they're really trying to get these routines consistent so they won't have to count that. In her series, a handspring layout, beautiful landing. Could see that her feet did not move. And a front aerial. Unfortunately, she comes off the beam. You could see that she tried to save it there with her hands. Unfortunately, Maryland will have to count a fall now. Finishing up with her dismount. Good stuck landing. That's unfortunate for Maryland. They've been struggling a little bit on beam this year. Next up on floor is Samantha Nelson. Samantha has a very fun routine. You can see her personality really shining through here. Getting ready for her first pass. A round off back handspring double pike. Beautiful landing. Could see her teammates joining in there. She's definitely playing to the crowd and the judges. And her second pass, a round off 1.5 punch layout, right into an arabesque. Samantha has been a key contributor for Arkansas on floor in all 3 years that she's been with Arkansas. And finishing up with a double tuck. Picks her chest up on that landing. That was a great routine for Arkansas. Next up on beam is Evelyn Nee. Let's see if she can help the Terps recover from their previous fall. Getting her leap series in there. Getting ready for her series. Now, Evelyn does a little bit of a different series. You'll see her finish on 2 feet instead of the typical step out you see. Evelyn's looking very confident. Beautiful layout step out there. Only thing left is her dismount. A round off double full. Pretty good landing there, just a small hop to the side. That is definitely what the Terps needed to get them back on track. For Arkansas. Sydney does a huge first pass. She does a double layout, which is an E-level skill, which is the most difficult skill you can do in gymnastics. Huge double layout there. You can see that Arkansas is really bringing the difficulty as well as the technique. Arkansas is a very consistent team, which is why they are ranked in the top 15. 2.5 twist. Another difficult E element. You can see that her powerful tumbling really goes with the powerful tone of this music. Getting ready for her final pass. And she'll finish up with a front full punch front layout. Getting in that 2 salto requirement. That was a great routine from Sydney. Very powerful, very controlled. That should be a huge score.
Next up from Maryland on the beam, Leah Slobodin.
Now in the anchor position is Leah Slobodin. Leah was taken out of the beam lineup for a couple weeks due to an Achilles injury that she's had since freshman year, but she's back in it, hoping to put up a good score for the Terps. Handspring layout, very solid. Beautiful switch leap into a gainer layout. She's looking very solid here. And getting ready for her dismount. A round off 1.5 twist. Small step forward, but that's a great routine for Leah. Really getting herself back on track and the Terps back on track. She's a very strong all-around competitor. In her first pass, a double pike. You can see that she lands with her chest up, showing a lot of control and a lot of power. Her dance here. And getting ready for her second pass. Front handspring, front full punch layout. Really showing off that layout position.
And I never realized that I was wrong. My mama don't lie.
Her final pass. Round up that gets her double tuck. Huge height on that. Looks like she opened up a little bit early, but she covered it up well. That should be a solid score for Megan. Now in an exhibition spot is Megan McClelland. So again, this routine will not count towards the team score. It's just to get her out in these pressure situations. A switch leap, straddle 3/4. Little bobble on that full turn there. It looks like a pretty easy skill, but surprisingly, you'll see a lot of wobbles and some falls on that. And her series, a handspring layout, beautiful landing. You can see that her feet do not move. Beautiful side aerial there, getting her single skill element out of the way. Megan's looking very confident in this routine. Now getting ready for a dismount. A round off 1.5 twist, small hop forward, but that was a great routine for Megan.
Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your hand on my feet.
Moving into the final rotation here at the Maryland Pride meet versus number 11 Arkansas. Arkansas is leading with a 147.1 and Maryland has a 145.35.
Hey fans, you've chose the polo, and here it is, Shell Shock. Get on your green turf fans and make some noise because we are headed to the fourth and final rotation.
First up on beam will be Sydney Dillard. We just saw their beam coach talking to her, really getting her in the zone, getting her to focus on her beam routine. Beam is a very mental event, and it's all about having the focus and the intent there. Being in that leadoff position, she is known for her consistency and getting the beam lineup off to a good start. A front aerial back handspring layout. That is a very difficult connection. She performed that very well. You can see a lot of confidence in her finishes and in her dance. A beautiful side aerial there. Definitely showing off why she's in this leadoff position. Beautiful split into a double stag. A bit of a bobble there. That's a blind landing jump because she takes her eyes off of the beam, making that pretty difficult. Another side aerial into a split jump connection. Definitely showing off the difficulty in this routine. And moving into her dismount, a round off 1.5 twist stuck landing. That's a great leadoff routine for Arkansas. Now moving over to floor, this is Leah Stoloden. We just saw her in her beam. She got a 9.825. Hopefully she can carry that energy on over to the floor. Leah has a very fun routine, really has her personality shine through here. Her first pass, a front handspring front double full twist. That is an E element. Really getting into her dance here. Moving into her second pass, a round off 1.5 punch layout. Beautiful control and height on that pass. Can see her teammates getting into her routine with her. And her leap connection, a switch side straddle full. Leah really has a lot of fun with this routine. And getting ready for her final pass. A front handspring, front 1.5 twist. Little step to the side there, but she covered it up well. That was a great leadoff routine for Maryland. Hopefully they can continue to build on that routine and put up a big floor score. Here's another look at Paige Ziziski for Arkansas. Paige is a very consistent and strong competitor. She's very precise. Beautiful switch side there. She's looking very solid. Getting ready for her series. A back handspring, back layout, step out. A switch leap, straddle quarter. Small bobble, but she brings her hands down to recontrol herself. And that full turn requirement. Front toss. Small bobble there. She has a lot of skills packed into this routine. Arkansas is really trying to push the difficulty in their routines this year. Good dismount there with a stuck landing. That should be a pretty good score for Arkansas. She had a couple bobbles, but overall that was a good performance for Paige. Next up on the floor is the freshman Megan McCullen. Looks like they're having some scoring issues over on the floor. So Megan will just have to wait a little bit longer. Now Megan will do a round off double pike for her first pass. She does not do a back handspring, which is interesting. Pretty good landing there. This is a very graceful routine. You can see that she's really showing off her lines with some pretty dance here. Getting ready for her second pass. A front handspring, front full. Megan's been doing a great job as a freshman in this floor lineup. She's very consistent in her routines. And her final pass, a round off 1.5 punch layout. Beautiful landing. That's definitely a routine to get excited about for Maryland.
Up next for Arkansas,
Next up on beam is Amanda Wellick. We've seen her on all 4 events here tonight. switch leap straddle quarter there, really showing off her flexibility in the air. Amanda's a very consistent performer on beam. Beautiful front aerial. You can see that she's really showing off the finishes of her skills and is very precise in her technique. A beautiful back handspring, back layout, step out series. A side semi. Arkansas's really showing off the difficulty in these routines. It's part of the reason why they're such a competitive team. And a double full dismount. Looks like she stuck the landing there. That was a beautiful routine from Amanda. There shouldn't be much deduction in that.
Up next on the floor for Maryland,
Up next on floor is Emily Brockmuller, the junior from Florida. Emily's been a very consistent performer for Maryland this year on floor. She will open with a double pike first pass. Good pass there. You can see she's happy with that. Getting ready for her second pass, a round up handspring double tuck. Great landing there. You can see that she gets a lot of height into the air. Her teammates joining in. Now Emily will finish up with her 2 salto pass, which is a requirement on the floor exercise. That is when you do 2 flight elements in a row connected. Here she goes, a round off 1.5 punch layout. Beautiful finish there. You can see the crowd really enjoyed that routine. That was a great routine from Emily. That should be a good score for the Terps.
up next for Arkansas, Colleen Aaron Pryor.
Next up on beam, this is Erin Pryor for Arkansas. Arkansas's had a very strong beam lineup so far. They've been very consistent and solid, showing off the difficulty of their routines. Again, you can see the confidence in her dance moves. Switch leap, beautiful split jump there. You can see that she's very focused on this routine. Going into her series, back handspring, back layout, step out. Very strong finish.
Just take your time.
It's very difficult to finish on the balance beam, and Arkansas is doing a phenomenal job with it. Side aerial, small balance check there, but so far that's been the only deduction in this routine. Another one of those ring jumps we're seeing where she takes her eyes off the beam. That's very difficult. Arkansas is putting up some big scores on the balance beam. Next up on floor is Macy Roberts. Macy's done a great job as a freshman, really moving into this floor lineup. Good double pike there. Macy has a lot of fun with this routine. Definitely part of her personality. She's very bubbly. And her second pass, a front layout punch front 1.5. Very controlled on her landings. You can see that she's smiling all the way through this routine. Playing to the crowd there. At the last home meet, Macy had a career high on the floor exercise with a 9.9. Let's see her last pass here. A round off 1.5, punch layout half into a jump. That was a very entertaining routine from the freshman. Looks like her team's happy with it. Next up on beam, this is Sydney McClone. Erin Fryer had a 9.8. They're really building on their routines, showing off their consistency. Beautiful back handspring back layout, step out. You can see that Arkansas is very consistent in their landings across all their beam competitors. They really show off their finishes. Switch leap into a pike jump. That's a connection that we don't usually see. Back layout, step out there. Switch side, you can see the confidence and focus in her face. It's been a very solid routine. Now, round up double twisting layout. Small hop forwards, but other than that, that was a very strong routine from Sydney McClone. This is Abby Epperson on floor for Maryland. This is Abby's first year competing floor. She did not compete floor as a freshman, but she's really moved into this spot and has shown a lot of consistency throughout the season. Her first pass, a front handspring front double pull. That's an E element. She was very controlled on the landing there. Her second pass, round off, 1.5 punch layout. Showing off her dance here. Abby has a very graceful routine. Getting ready for her last pass. A front handspring, front 1.5 twist. Good landing there. Her chest was very high up. That's something the judges look for. Marilyn should be happy with that routine. The final competitor on beam for Arkansas is Samantha Nelson. She's in a pretty good position right now. Arkansas has hit all of the routines before her, so there's no pressure on her. Samantha's really grown into this anchor spot, really showing off her confidence and difficulty in this beam routine throughout the whole season. Getting ready for her series. A back handspring, back layout, step out, very solid. Switch leap, straddle quarter. You can see why she's in this anchor position. She's very solid, doesn't have any balance checks. A front tuck, that's a very difficult skill. She just had a small hop forward, but she's looking very solid. She's getting ready for her dismount here. A round off 1.5. Slight hop forward, but that was a beautiful anchor routine for Samantha and a phenomenal beam lineup for Arkansas. That's a great way for them to finish the meet. Moving over to the floor, this is Kathy Tang. Kathy has very strong tumbling and dance, which is why she's in this anchor position. For her first pass, Kathy does a double full back layout step out, which is something you don't usually see and very unique. It's great for the judges to see gymnasts doing something different. Looks like she's having a great time out there, has a big smile on her face. Going into her second pass, a front handspring, front layout, punch layout 1.5. That's a very difficult connection, and she performed that very well. Kat finishes up with a double pike. Great landing there. Her chest is up, huge smile on her face. That was a beautiful routine from Kathy Tang. That should be a huge score for Maryland. The crowd and her teammates love it. Mackenzie Anderson from Arkansas will be doing an exhibition routine. Now, again, this routine is just for practice. It will not count towards the team score. The good thing about the early meets in the season is that you have the opportunity to do these exhibition routines and get the girls out there and get them some more practice. A triple series there. Unfortunately, she could not hold on. Looks like she's doing a pretty good job of getting herself back on track after that fall. Another one of those ring jumps. Side aerial. Good finish. She's recovering very well from that fall. That's a difficult thing to do, especially on the balance beam. Switch leap, split jump, really showing off her flexibility. That was a good finish for Mackenzie.
And now competing in next division on the floor for Maryland, Alex Robinson.
Next up on floor in an exhibition spot is Alex Robinson. Alex has a very fun routine. She was also a dancer in high school, so you can definitely see her dancing abilities shining through here. Her first pass is a round off back handspring double tuck. Huge height on that, and a very solid landing. This routine is interesting because she only does 2 passes because she has a lot of difficulty in her dance elements. See her teammates getting into it there. She would do a triple full right here. That's where a lot of her dance bonus comes from. Here's another difficult dance element, a double full into another double full. Looks like she had some balance issues there. And her final pass, a round off back handspring 1.5 punch layout. Good finish there for Alex Robinson. She should be happy with that routine. This concludes our competition tonight. Arkansas came out on top with a 196.15. Maryland scored a 194.425. I'll leave you here with the individual results. This was Nikki Dragon reporting from the Xfinity Center.
Samantha Nelson. And from Maryland, Macy Roberts. The top scorer on the floor tonight with a score of 9.875 from Maryland, Kathy Tang. Tonight's all-around champion finishing with a score of 39.375 from Arkansas, Amanda Wellick. And now final team standings in second place with a total score of 194.425, your Maryland Terrapins. And coming out on top tonight with a total team score of 196.15, Arkansas.